Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us on the Small Cap Insights podcast powered by Darrow Associates. My name is Jack Greenberg. I'll be your host today. We are a leading full-service investor relations firm that focuses primarily on small cap equities. Joining us today is Chris Witty, a senior practitioner at Darrow Associates. Chris, welcome to the show. Hey, it's great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, Chris, let's start with your journey to Darrow Associates. How long you worked for the firm?
Wow, that's a good question. Basically, back in a former life, I worked in corporate finance, and then I got into investment banking on the sell side, equity research side, working for firms like UBS, Lazard Frères, Goldman Sachs. And then I ended up at a different IR consulting firm in New York. And at the time, I thought it was bloated, mismanaged, and just not really a good fit for me. And so I joined Jordan Darrow and his firm in late 2007, I want to say. So it's been almost 20 years. It's been a long time and it's been great. And I think that speaks volumes to what I think of the firm, its services, and Jordan Darrow himself.
Awesome. So touching on those services, what kind of services do you think clients care most about? Some of the value that Darrow provides the best.
Yeah, well, I mean, every client is different. I mean, basically, Darrow Associates is great in that we offer a full service suite of things that we can do for a client. So we do everything from the back office assistance with writing, editing, managing, press releases, presentations, earnings call scripts, things on the website. And then we also do outreach, for companies that want to target new investors or just be better at communicating with existing investors. And then, we also try and get them more sell-side research and into conferences. The whole scheme is that we're very dedicated to growth-oriented micro and small cap companies, and we'll do everything that they want us to do. And we're very good at that. We've been in this game a long time, as I just said. And I think that's why clients, hire us and why they stay with us.
Hmm. And so, like you've been in the industry for quite a long time. What are some of the pitfalls that you see some companies run into? How do you advise them on those issues?
Yeah, that's a great question. In my time at Darrow and my former employer, what I've seen, a couple things that companies tend to forget or tend to do that I always advise them against is a couple things. One is, companies and people in general have a tendency to put out or want to put out long, detailed items, documents, like press releases. And today, more than ever, people's attention span is like zero. So my thing is, it's a big motto, but I live it, is less is more, less is more. So basically, it's just like in the old days when people were, it's true today, when you're looking for a job, you want that resume to make an impression in the first 10 seconds. If it's too long or too busy or too boring, they'll move on to the next resume. Same thing with a press release. The key factors of a press release you need to get across in the headline and maybe the first two paragraphs. Nobody's going to read after that. So if you had something really important way down in the press release, or God forbid, on a second page of a press release, forget it. So I'm always about advising clients, less is more, keep it straight, get the key concepts out there. And I'm a good writer, so I also make sure that we don't overuse the same verbiage, the same words, the same, terms. Trust me, there are some terms that are used over and over again, like the word grow or the word continued. Oh, we're continuing to do this or we're continuing to do that. So you want to make sure that the release is interesting enough and you use different words so that people don't get bored reading it. The other major thing that I'd say I've learned from companies over the past 20 years is, and from investors want things to be consistent and transparent. So let's say you have a press release, an earnings release, and every time you have an earnings release, you have a bullet on EBITDA or backlog or book to bill, right? So you can't just take that away when it's not a positive. You can't say, oh, well, this quarter, let's not show that, because that would be silly and investors see through that. So be consistent. And also when I say transparent, I've had companies in the past, if they have a bad quarter, they would rather focus on the year to date. Oh, like the 9 months we did this, or the full year we were a record year. That's fine, but the reality is investors focus on the quarter just ended. So you cannot hide that information. They will find it, they know it. But I've definitely had clients before I got involved There's one in particular where they said they had a record year, a great year, and then they were surprised the stock went down. I'm like, no, there's nothing surprising because your fourth quarter was terrible. So, consistency and transparency are very big, and companies sometimes fall into that trap. Let me add one other thing. One thing that I think companies have recently been doing more of in the past, like 5 years, is they've seen, especially with all the marketing done nowadays by these retail-oriented outreach firms. It's very enticing or very common for companies to say, "Oh, maybe we should do this to get a leg up with retail investors or get the stock price up." And the reality is that the stock price usually just moves on the fundamentals. Is the corporate growing? How are the earnings? What's the operational outlook? So a lot of times these companies fall into a trap of hiring some small company that we've never heard of, and they want to just introduce you, or they say they're going to have a mailing list of thousands or tens of thousands or whatever it is. And if it works at all, and a lot of times it doesn't work at all, but if it was to work, it's usually a quick term fix. It's a pump and dump sort of thing. I think they're usually a waste of money. But that's something that I hear from almost all my clients all the time. Well, I heard from this company or that firm, and they said they can guarantee us, whatever, 50,000 new eyeballs.
Right.
Again, I think those a lot of times are just a waste of money.
Totally agreed. And so you kind of mentioned that writing press releases and crafting a good narrative is one of your strengths. What do you think that sort of Darrow's secrets to success are in the industry?
Yeah, well, like I said, I think Darrow, because we offer a full plate of services that are dedicated to microcap and small cap growth stories, I think that sets us apart. But the other thing about Darrow is, there's a couple of things. One is everybody here is a seasoned senior executive. At my prior firm a long time ago, they had layer upon layer of management. Everything had to be reviewed 10,000 times. It slows the process down. Here, our clients, have a dedicated person who's senior. Probably most of us are in our 40s or 50s or maybe even 60s. We know what we're doing, and we get back to you right away. You have almost like 24/7 access to us, and there's nobody between us and the client. And the other good thing about Darrow is, we don't have any long-term contracts. If somebody doesn't like us, they can get out of a contract pretty quickly. But that being said, that rarely happens. In all my years at Darrow, I don't know if that's ever happened. Usually people, when they leave us, it's because either A, they're bought out by somebody and that larger entity has an in-house function, or they just, maybe they went private, or for whatever reason, they don't need our services. And obviously, the other side of that coin is that sometimes we have clients that do go bankrupt or go out of business, and obviously they don't need us. But long term, we have a great track record, and I think that sets us apart.
I think that was great. Chris, really appreciate you hopping on today for the Small Cap Insights podcast powered by Darrow Associates. If you guys enjoyed the conversation and want to learn a bit more about how strategic investor relations can elevate your company's visibility and credibility in today's market, visit www.darrowir.com and see you on the next episodes of Small Cap Insights. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Jack. Take care.
Bye-bye.